Have you ever noticed that the moment someone mentions kidney health online, someone else is trying to sell you a detox, a special tea, a miracle herb, a 7-day cleanse, a powder that promises to flush toxins, a drink that claims to make your kidneys feel brand new? It's everywhere. And after hearing these promises over and over again, it's easy to believe one simple idea. Your kidneys are filling up with toxins, and they need your help to clean themselves. But today, I want to investigate something that almost nobody is talking about. What if that's the biggest lie we've been told about kidney health? Not because every detox product is dangerous, not because every supplement is useless, but because while millions of people are busy trying to cleanse perfectly healthy kidneys, they're often overlooking the things that actually destroy kidney function. And that's where the real danger begins. Because unlike a broken bone, or a toothache, or even a heart attack, your kidneys rarely announce that they're in trouble. They don't usually scream. They whisper. Sometimes they whisper so quietly that people continue living their lives for years without realizing anything is wrong. They go to work. They laugh with their families. They exercise. They make plans for the future, completely unaware that one of the hardest working organs in their body has been under pressure for a very long time. How is that possible? How can an organ responsible for keeping you alive stay so quiet while it's slowly being damaged? That's the mystery we're going to solve today. Not by chasing internet myths, not by promoting miracle cures, but by following the evidence. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand why your kidneys were never asking for a detox. They were asking for something far more important. Every good investigation begins by separating fact from fiction. So before we talk about kidney disease, before we talk about warning signs, before we talk about prevention, let's answer one simple question. What exactly are your kidneys doing for you right now? Most people would probably say, they clean the blood, and they're right. But that's only a small part of the story. Imagine your entire city waking up tomorrow without a water treatment plant. Within hours, clean water would become contaminated. Waste would begin to build up. Essential services would struggle. Life would quickly become chaotic. Now imagine carrying 2 miniature treatment plants inside your own body. That's essentially what your kidneys are. Every single day, they process an astonishing amount of blood, filtering roughly 180 liters of fluid before carefully deciding what your body should keep and what it should remove. Waste products? Those leave your body through urine. Extra water? Adjusted with incredible precision. Minerals like sodium and potassium? Kept in a delicate balance that allows your muscles, nerves, and heart to function properly. But that's still not all. Your kidneys also help regulate blood pressure. They activate vitamin D, allowing your body to use it effectively. They produce hormones that help your body make red blood cells, carrying oxygen to every organ that depends on it. In other words, your kidneys aren't just cleaning your body, they're quietly helping to run it. Which brings us back to our original question. If your kidneys are already one of the most advanced filtration systems ever created, why would they need a detox? The answer is surprisingly simple. Healthy kidneys don't wait for a detox. They don't pause until you drink a special tea. They don't suddenly switch on after a 7-day cleanse. They're already working. Every minute, every hour, every day of your life. That's why the real question was never, how do I clean my kidneys? The real question is, if my kidneys already know how to clean themselves, what causes them to fail? That question changed everything for me. Because the answer isn't what most people expect. In fact, the very thing that makes your kidneys so remarkable is also the reason kidney disease can remain hidden for years. And that's our first real clue. The first clue wasn't hidden inside a detox drink. It was hidden inside the kidneys themselves. At first, that sounds impossible. How can the very organ we're trying to protect also be the reason kidney disease is so difficult to detect? The answer lies in one of the most remarkable survival systems in the human body. Think about the last time the power went out in a hospital. The lights don't suddenly go dark. The life support machines don't stop. Within seconds, backup generators take over, quietly carrying the load until the problem can be fixed. Most people inside the building never realize anything happened. Your kidneys have a backup system of their own. Inside each kidney are about 1 million tiny filtering units called nephrons. You don't need to remember the name, just think of them as millions of microscopic filters working together every second of every day. Each one does a small part of the job. Together, they perform something extraordinary. Now here's the part that changed the entire investigation. When some of those filters become damaged, the healthy ones don't simply give up. They quietly begin working harder. Imagine a team of 100 people moving heavy boxes across a warehouse. If 10 workers leave, the job doesn't suddenly stop. The remaining 90 pick up the extra work. At first, everything still looks normal. The boxes keep moving. The warehouse keeps running. No one outside notices anything has changed. That's exactly what your kidneys do. When some nephrons are damaged, the healthy ones compensate. They increase their workload to keep your blood clean and your body in balance. It's one of the reasons human beings survive illnesses and injuries that would otherwise be devastating. But every strength comes with a weakness. The healthier filters can compensate for only so long. And while they're working harder behind the scenes, you may feel perfectly fine. No pain. No dramatic symptoms. Nothing that tells you to call your doctor tomorrow morning. That's why chronic kidney disease can quietly progress for years before it's discovered. Not because your kidneys don't matter, but because they're doing everything they can to protect you. Think about how incredible that is. Even while under pressure, they keep showing up. They keep working. They keep buying you time. And perhaps that's the greatest irony of all. The organ that's trying hardest to protect you can also hide the fact that it's struggling. That's why doctors don't rely on pain to diagnose kidney disease. Because by the time severe symptoms appear, your kidneys may have been compensating for a very long time. Which brings us to the next clue. If your kidneys are quietly fighting to keep you healthy, surely they leave some evidence behind. Surely the body says something. It does. The problem is, it rarely says it in a language we've been taught to understand. Most people are waiting for a scream. But the body doesn't begin with a scream. It begins with a whisper. And once you learn to recognize those whispers, you may never ignore them again. Let's start with one that millions of people have seen, without realizing it could mean something important. Foamy urine. Most people don't give it a second thought. A few bubbles in the toilet? Probably nothing. And in many cases, they're right. Foam can happen for harmless reasons, including how forcefully you urinate or temporary dehydration. But persistent foam that lingers? That's different. To understand why, let's go back to those microscopic filters. Imagine making coffee with a paper coffee filter. The liquid passes through easily. The coffee grounds stay behind. That's exactly how healthy kidneys work. They allow waste and extra water to pass into the urine while keeping important substances, like proteins, inside your bloodstream. Now imagine that coffee filter develops tiny holes. Not enough to tear apart, just enough for a few coffee grounds to slip through. That's what can happen when kidney filters become damaged. Proteins, especially one called albumin, may begin leaking into the urine. Sometimes that protein creates foam that doesn't disappear quickly. Does persistent foamy urine automatically mean kidney disease? No, absolutely not. But it does mean your body may be giving you information that's worth discussing with a healthcare professional instead of dismissing. Because here's something this investigation has taught us. The body rarely sends just one clue. It leaves a trail. And the next clue is one that many people blame on a long day at work, when it may be pointing to something much deeper. You know that feeling when you finally get home after a long day, you take off your shoes, and your socks have left deep marks around your ankles. Maybe your shoes feel tighter than they did that morning. Maybe your wedding ring doesn't slide off as easily as it used to. Most of us blame the weather, or standing too long, or simply getting older. And sometimes, that's exactly what it is. But remember what we've learned. This investigation isn't about one clue. It's about what happens when several clues begin appearing together. Your kidneys play a critical role in maintaining the delicate balance of salt and water in your body. When that balance begins to change, excess fluid can sometimes build up in the tissues, leading to swelling in the feet, ankles, or around the eyes. Again, swelling can happen for many different reasons. Heart conditions, problems with the veins, certain medications, even sitting for long periods. That's why no single symptom should ever be used to diagnose kidney disease. But when swelling begins appearing alongside other subtle changes, it becomes another piece of the puzzle. Then there's the clue almost everyone dismisses: fatigue. Not the kind of tiredness that follows a sleepless night, not the exhaustion after chasing your children around the house. Something different, a tiredness that seems to linger. You sleep. You rest. You slow down, yet somehow, you never quite feel recharged. Why would your kidneys have anything to do with that? Because healthy kidneys do much more than filter waste. They also produce a hormone that signals your body to make red blood cells. Those cells carry oxygen throughout your body. If kidney function declines over time, some people develop anemia, meaning fewer healthy red blood cells are available to transport oxygen efficiently. Less oxygen reaching your muscles and brain can leave you feeling unusually tired or weak. Not everyone with kidney disease develops anemia, and not everyone with anemia has kidney disease. But once again, it's another clue. Then there are changes that are so easy to explain away that most people never mention them during a doctor's appointment. Waking up more often at night to urinate, a reduced appetite, difficulty concentrating, dry, itchy skin that doesn't seem to improve. Each one, by itself, has dozens of possible explanations. Stress, aging, diet, medication side effects. That's exactly why chronic kidney disease is such a master of disguise. It borrows symptoms from everyday life. And because those symptoms seem so ordinary, the real cause can remain hidden. Now here's the interesting part. As I looked deeper into this investigation, I expected to find one dramatic cause behind most kidney disease. One major mistake people were making. One smoking gun. Instead, I found something far more surprising. Kidney disease is rarely the result of one catastrophic event. More often, it's the result of ordinary risks quietly working together over years. That discovery completely changed the direction of this investigation, because the next clue wasn't about symptoms. It was about the people who are most likely to overlook them. Let's start with the two conditions responsible for a large proportion of chronic kidney disease worldwide: high blood pressure and diabetes. Most people think of high blood pressure as a problem for the heart, and diabetes as a problem with blood sugar. Both are true, but they also have something else in common. Over time, they can quietly injure the tiny blood vessels that feed the kidney's microscopic filters. Imagine watering a delicate garden through thousands of tiny hoses. If the pressure inside those hoses stays too high for years, eventually, the hoses begin to wear. Not overnight. Not dramatically. Just slowly. Now imagine trying to force thick, sticky liquid through those same tiny hoses every single day. That places a different kind of stress on the system. That's a simple way to understand why uncontrolled high blood pressure and poorly managed diabetes can gradually damage the kidneys over time. And here's what makes this clue so important. The damage usually happens silently, long before a person feels seriously ill, long before they think anything could be wrong, which means the greatest threat isn't simply having these conditions. It's having them without realizing what they may be doing behind the scenes. When detectives investigate a case, there comes a moment when theories no longer matter, opinions no longer matter. The only thing that matters is the evidence. Kidney health is no different. Your kidneys may be working quietly, your body may be whispering, your symptoms may be vague, or you may have no symptoms at all. But your blood and urine are remarkably honest. They often reveal changes long before your kidneys are unable to do their job. That's why healthcare providers don't wait for severe pain before checking kidney function. They look for evidence. The first piece of evidence is a blood test called creatinine. Now don't let the name intimidate you. Creatinine is simply a waste product your muscles naturally produce every single day. Healthy kidneys remove it from your bloodstream and send it out of your body through urine. Imagine your neighborhood has its garbage collected every Tuesday. Week after week, everything stays clean. But if the garbage trucks stop coming, the rubbish doesn't pile up all at once. It builds slowly. One bag, then another, then another. That's how creatinine works. When the kidneys aren't filtering as efficiently as they should, creatinine can begin to accumulate in the blood. That tells your healthcare provider something important. But it still doesn't tell the whole story. That's where the second piece of evidence comes in. It's called eGFR, short for estimated glomerular filtration rate. The name sounds technical. The concept is simple. Think of two cars driving down the same road. From the outside, both look perfectly fine, but one engine is running at peak performance, while the other is slowly losing power. Without looking under the hood, you would never know the difference. That's what the eGFR helps estimate. It gives healthcare providers an idea of how efficiently your kidneys are filtering your blood, using your creatinine level together with information such as your age and sex. And here's something that's incredibly important. Doctors rarely make major decisions based on one number alone. They look for patterns. They compare today's results with previous ones. They consider your medical history, your medications, your blood pressure, your diabetes status, and many other factors before drawing conclusions. That's why seeing one abnormal result doesn't automatically mean you have chronic kidney disease. It means the evidence deserves careful interpretation. Then we come to what may be the most revealing clue of all. A simple urine test called the albumin to creatinine ratio, often shortened to ACR. Remember the coffee filter we talked about earlier? Healthy kidney filters keep important proteins where they belong, in your bloodstream. One of those proteins is called albumin. When those microscopic filters begin to lose their integrity, tiny amounts of albumin can escape into the urine. Often, long before you feel sick, long before severe symptoms appear, long before your kidneys stop doing their job. That's why this test is so valuable. It doesn't wait for the house to catch fire. It looks for the first sign of smoke. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson of this entire investigation. The goal isn't to discover kidney disease after years of silent damage. The goal is to find it while there's still time to protect the healthy kidney tissue that's working tirelessly for you every single day. Because the earlier kidney problems are identified and the underlying cause is treated, the more opportunities there may be to slow or even prevent further damage. And after everything we've uncovered, one final question remains. If your kidneys don't need miracle detoxes, if they don't need expensive cleanses, if the real answer has been hiding in plain sight all along, then what do your kidneys actually need from you? The verdict is probably much simpler than you think. After following every clue, questioning every assumption, and separating myths from evidence, we can finally answer the question that started this investigation. What is the biggest lie about kidney health? It's not that detox products exist. It's not even that every detox product is harmful. The biggest lie is making people believe that kidney health begins with a cleanse. It doesn't. Kidney health begins with protection. Think about everything your kidneys have done while you've been watching this video. They haven't taken a single break. They've been filtering your blood, removing waste, balancing your body's fluids, helping regulate your blood pressure, keeping minerals like sodium and potassium within a narrow range, helping your body produce red blood cells, working silently, faithfully, without asking for recognition, and perhaps that's why they're so easy to take for granted. The truth is, your kidneys don't need a miracle. They need consistency. If you have high blood pressure, keeping it under control is one of the most important gifts you can give your kidneys. If you have diabetes, managing your blood sugar doesn't just protect your eyes and your heart. It helps protect millions of tiny filters that are working around the clock to keep you alive. Stay active. Not because exercise is a magic cure, but because movement supports your heart, your circulation, your metabolism, and all of those support your kidneys. Eat in a way that nourishes your body most of the time. That doesn't mean chasing perfection. It means choosing habits you can maintain for years rather than days. Use medications wisely. Even over-the-counter medicines deserve respect. And before starting herbal products or supplements, ask one simple question. Is this safe for my kidneys? If you have a family history of kidney disease, or if you live with diabetes, high blood pressure, or other conditions that increase your risk, don't wait until you feel unwell. Have a conversation with your healthcare provider about whether kidney screening is appropriate for you. Because here's what this entire investigation has really been about. Not detoxes, not teas, not miracle drinks. It's been about replacing fear with understanding, replacing marketing with medicine, replacing myths with evidence. Because once you understand how your kidneys actually work, you stop chasing quick fixes, and you start making decisions that can protect them for decades. So the next time someone promises to flush toxins from your kidneys, I hope you'll remember what we discovered today. Healthy kidneys don't spend their days waiting for a detox. They spend every minute of every day quietly detoxifying you, and the greatest gift you can give them isn't a 7-day cleanse, it's a lifetime of protection. If this investigation changed the way you think about kidney health, don't let it end here. Share this video with someone you care about, a friend, a parent, a brother, a sister, because someone you love may be living with silent kidney disease today, without having the slightest idea it's happening. And one conversation, one routine checkup, or one simple blood and urine test could make all the difference. If you're new to Dr. Harmony Wellness, welcome. This channel exists for one reason: to investigate the biggest myths in health, separate fact from fiction, and help you understand your body before small problems become life-changing ones. If that's the kind of content you value, subscribe and join us. Because every week, we'll uncover another hidden truth that could change the way you think about your health. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember this: your kidneys never asked to be cleansed. They only asked for the chance to keep protecting you.